MatPat is officially retiring from his platform, but why? MatPat has been an OG creator since 2009 and has really grown as an individual since then. But in his video called Goodbye Internet, he makes it known that it is not clickbait.
It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my last Theory episode, at which point I will be handing off the channels to someone else.
He gives valid reasons on why he would leave the internet in the first place. Some of the reasons consist of him wanting to spend more time with his kid, wanting to play games without the stress of it having to be for content. He also said he wanted to leave on a high note, which has been a common theme with some creators, one recent example being in 2023 when MatPat left the platform partially because he wanted to leave on a high note.
I miss the days where I could just sit down on the couch with her and play video games, and it's not for content. Or I'm playing a game and I'm not thinking about what theories are going to come out of that. I miss it. So that's a big reason. That was a big one right there. But also just the internet's changing. My life has changed in the last 13 years. I mentioned Dolly before. He's the coolest little dude, and he's getting older by the minute.
He naturally goes into what a lot of people would be curious about as well, the state of the channel itself. Game Theory is doing something very similar to Equals 3, which they have the host leave, but the show still goes on. In fact, MatPat himself even compares himself to the Doctor Who of YouTube when going into this explanation.
And to be honest, you're never going to get another MatPat either. But you can have another game theorist. You can have another film theorist or food theorist or style theorist. I think in a lot of ways, we almost function kind of like the Doctor Who of YouTube, where as one host fades away, a new one kind of respawns in their place. And they're able to put their own unique spin and flavor on the format and make it their unique thing. You have eras of the different theorist channels. And so, my era is fading away and someone new is coming in.
However, what really catches my interest is who is going to take over. Now, he has admitted that other people handle the scripts for his channel now because of him having a big team. So that would mean it was never just MatPat for Game Theory. And that has been known for years as prominent members show up on the channel as well. However, he seems to be having 4 people take over his place.
So back to the question, who's taken over? First off, it's not going to one person, but rather 4. I would not wish my schedule on anyone. Sure, I'm willing to not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as old man YouTube passing this along to the next generation, I should probably do my best to try and make it more sustainable for them. It's also going to people that you're already familiar with. You've seen them showing up in shorts, you've seen them here on the couch with me for GT Live.
However, he wanted it to be more sustainable. So the people he selected was Lee for Film Theory, since he has been with the Game Theory for like 10 years now. He would also go on to pick Amy for Style Theory, a person who has been associated with the channel and known MatPat for nearly 6 years. Santi will be taking over Food Theory, and Tom will be the guy now hosting Game Theory from now on. Which they are unique because they were huge fans of Game Theory before working there, which just goes to show you they will definitely put their passion into their roles.
At the time, it's like, oh my gosh, you're MatPat. You were my childhood. I loved watching your FNAF theories. And I'm always like, well, FNAF's still going. And they're like, what? No way. And we talk about the new game, and it's always really fun. But the other half is, oh my gosh, you're MatPat. You are my childhood. I'm watching you right now. I loved your most recent theory. That's awesome. That's such an honor. I have been so honored to be a part of all of your lives. But I think it's time for someone else to have that honor. I think it's time for someone else to get to ruin some childhoods.
He then talks about what most of the people would definitely be curious for, and that is where he is going. Well, the good news is that he isn't abandoning the group, so he will still be working a part of the team, just not as the main guy anymore. But it is something he says he will enjoy doing, and he already had a passion project planned.
For the last 13 years, I've been commenting on other people's IP, but now that I'm stepping out of those roles, I get to create the IP. Still as a part of Theorist, but I get to create things that are going to challenge those new hosts of the channel. Things that I've had in the back of my mind from years of studying media that I can now make a reality, and the channels can comment on them. Things like, for instance, I have a lo-fi mystery series that I think you're really gonna dig. It's basically like if you took a lo-fi channel and applied an ARG narrative to it, it becomes lore-fi.
He talks about his growth as one of his final points. Usually his fandom talks about him being Dad Pat, but he makes a cheesy but wholesome joke that he's moving up to Grandpa Pat. Someone who won't really see him much anymore, but really likes interacting with the audience when he can.
I think I'm kind of evolving into a Grandpa Pat, for lack of a better term. And just like your grandparents, hopefully cool grandparents, but just like a grandparent, you don't get to see me all the time. And I don't get to see you all the time. And maybe we call and talk to each other every once in a while. But But at the end of the day, that grandpa loves getting to see you.
He leaves on a really heart-touching moment that really impacted the audience. But I am glad that he is happier with this decision, and I hope that he keeps doing what he enjoys. I can't wait to see what he'll have in store in the future, but I guess only time will tell. Well, on that note, I will end the video off right here. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, it's Holler180, signing out.